no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Welcome back, everyone. I just got back from watching the newest film in the Final Destination franchise, Final Destination Bloodlines.
And you don't even want to fuck with that.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
We're unforgettable. Daisy Dukes, bikinis on top. Sun-kissed skin so hot. We'll melt your popsicle.
I actually won't be talking about the plot like I usually do, because, let's be real, this series is just about the kills and gore. Speaking of the blood and gore, I'll just get through what I didn't like about the movie first, because I'm pretty torn in this movie, about 50-50. Anyway, first problem is not the kills themselves, or the idea, it's the execution. And you might be like, but review Rant, the kills were awesome. What are you talking about? And to that I would say, yeah, if it was not for the CGI blood and gore. In my mind, when I go to see a Final Destination movie, I want to see the worst, most gory things imaginable, but practical. And there are probably some practical stuff going on under all that CG. And before anyone says anything about the series having always had CGI, at least you can see some practical stuff in between all that. And that's also why I didn't really like, after 2, the franchise kind of went into full CGI with their kills. Again, you go to these movies to see some cool practical deaths, but I digress. Now, the second thing I didn't like was the character choices and decisions. What I mean by that is that some of the characters can be stupid, when they should know to be all on their guard, and they're not. The biggest one, in my opinion, that kind of pissed me off was actually the hospital scene. It really took me back and made me want to yell at the characters for not reacting to things around them. And I know that's what the series is all about, but still, they could have found a better way to handle it, because after that, it really just kind of took me out of the movie. And I wasn't really feeling it after all that. I don't know why, but I kind of do. Also, with my enjoyment at the time kind of faded, I didn't really care for the ending all that much. I found it to be very predictable. Now, on to the positives. The plot is something you can hardly get wrong. It's really just about death coming after you. What's hard to understand about that? And I feel that they did somewhat of a good job, while at the same time adding something new. The concept is really cool. How one woman saved all these people, and it took death several years to catch up to her, and to kill all the people she saved, who have already started their own families. However, the way in which death comes after her family was a bit lazy and could have been completely avoided. Still, a hard concept to fail at, and before seeing the movie, I was wondering how and why death would take so long to kill her family. It made me start thinking about the second movie and what Bloodworth said.
Some people say there's a balance to everything. For every life, there's a death. For every death, there is a life. But the introduction of life that was not meant to be, that could invalidate the list. Force death to start anew.
And I can say that they executed pretty well. Also, the beginning was pretty cool, and you could definitely tell that there are several signs and clues to look for and what Iris should remember. However, after that, it becomes a little slow, for like a long time. Then, at the events that have death chasing the main characters, it starts picking up again. Also, I guess the characters were alright, my favorite being Eric, because I won't spoil it, but there is something going on with him, kinda cool and shocking about the character. Other than him, the other characters are alright, I guess, nothing really special, and they can be kinda dumb. Also, on the topic of the characters, we have to talk about Bloodworth, played by the late, great Tony Todd, who you can really tell looks sick and skinny. It's pretty sad, but this being his last performance, I think he did an amazing job. With his backstory being filled in, I do feel that does take away from a little bit of mysteriousness about him. Anyway, I think Tony Todd alluded to the fact that you should value your life because you never know when it's your time. Also, the coin I didn't really get at first, and I didn't even really like it, but sitting on it, however, I see a new perspective. How the coin represents how Iris saved the lives of all those people, saving their lives and starting a bloodline, and now the coin represents how it ends all of these bloodlines. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but that's 2025's Final Destination Bloodlines, a movie that I had really complicated time with, but the more and more I sit down and think about it, the more and more I like it. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you saw, consider liking, comment your thoughts, and if you made it this far, tell me how you would rank the series. But, till next time.
I'll see you soon.
Just do it!